Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing this evening? I'm doing okay. I haven't had dinner, and it's already 6:24. But actually, I'm not gonna have dinner. I'm gonna have a sandwich. Why do I have to clear my throat when I get up here? It must be because I don't talk. Because once I get to talking, excuse me, and clear my throat up, everything is everything, you know. And I hope everything is everything with you this evening. I'll tell you, I had a nice nap. And I think it's been sprinkling and raining out there a little bit all day, on and off. Well, not all day, maybe this afternoon. So I got my little tuna fish salad. Tuna fish out here I'm getting ready to make. And I took these out of the freezer. You know, these are my little Kaiser rolls. I took two out, but of course I'm not gonna have two of those for, oh, excuse me. I'm not gonna have two of those. I might make myself another cup of coffee. But I did have 2 cups of coffee already today, so maybe and maybe not. Maybe I'll just drink water. So how y'all doing this evening? I hope it's all is well. It's a good night to curl up and watch a movie. Yeah, because we've got cloudy and a little rain going on over here. Let me see if it's still raining. I'm not going to the door. I'm just gonna peep out, peep outside. Oh, the rain stopped, I think. Streets are still damp though, but I don't think it's raining. But I think that the weatherman says it's gonna be on and off. And we may have a hurricane on the way out. Up the coast. It might come up this way. I don't know. I got to keep my eyes open and my ears peeled. Because if it do, I'm going to my daughter's house. Yeah. I'm not going to be here in a hurricane by myself. And you know, y'all excuse me. Because my throat just will not clear up. I've been sitting here watching this about people going to people's houses stealing their package. You know, it's on television right now. About the porch pirates and all that kind of stuff. I had an incident with a guy had came up here on my porch. And thank goodness I had my camera, which I didn't have anything out there for him to steal. But if I had something out there, I'm pretty sure that he would have, taken it. And thank goodness for my neighbors. My neighbors are pretty kind, except for one time, one neighbor got my package and kept it. I know they got it and kept it. But these other neighbors, they returned my package to me. They came to me personally, brought it to my door. I felt good, which I had reported it to Amazon that I did not get the package. And then my other neighbor over here was 2 different neighbors. And they brought it to my door. That's what I call a good neighbor. Not some neighbor that's going to, act like the package is theirs just because it came to their door. Now, I have had a lot of packages come to my door, and I have done the same thing. I have taken it to the person that it belonged to. I have actually had a package that belonged to that building over there right across the street. You know, the elderly building across the street over there. And I took it upon myself. It came to my door because a lot of times people will get my address and their address confused. So I took it upon myself. I got my old buzz around. And if you're like me, if you're expecting a package, you're wondering where your package is, and get on the horn and call, Amazon or whatever, because that's the only place I order. I order from Amazon. That's about it. Shein, I gave up on a long time ago. And who else I ordered from before? Walmart. I think I got my phones. I haven't ordered anything from Walmart in a while. I got my phones from my house phone, these. I got these from Walmart, 3 of them. And I haven't ordered anything from, not that I can think of right now. But most of my, like I said, most of my ordering comes from Amazon. That's my buddy, Amazon. Yeah, I usually order my toilet papers and paper towels, which I think I'm going to quit using the paper towels because it's nothing but going in the trash. And I remember years ago, excuse me, when all of us were living at home, when I was married and everything like that, we didn't use paper towels. We had them children. We had children. We couldn't afford no paper towels and paper plates and all that stuff. But I got a lot of paper plates. Trust me, I got enough paper plates probably to last me for 2 years. Well, maybe not 2 years. I bought a pack when I went to Stop and Shop. And then Amazon had the same paper plates. You get 90 for, I think it was $5 or something. And we're at Stop and Shop. I paid $5 for half that amount. I'll show you to you. Wait a minute. Just hold on just a second, y'all. I wish I could clear my throat up so that I could talk to the AAGT. See this? This is a whole pack. This is a whole pack I bought from Walmart the other day. It's 48 in here. And I think they were $5 and something just for that. And then Amazon had 90, which is what I normally get. Is these. I used to order them from Amazon. But I said, no, they're probably cheaper at at Stop and Shop. They're not in this case. So these were marked down, I think, to $5 and something from on Amazon. But this is something that's unnecessary, and it keeps my trash can filled up, y'all, along with all the paper towels and the incontinence wear. That's why my trash can be so full, because I always have to take the trash out because of all this paper. And if they don't get that war straightened out over there, y'all, at least I'll have me some plates. And sometimes, like tonight, when I have my sandwich, I will use one plate, but that plate is usable again. I can reuse that plate. Because I'm putting these back, y'all. Yeah, I can reuse that again. But one thing I will not and do not use is the paper bowls, like for cereal. When I use my cereal, hold on just a minute, y'all. I'm going to see if I can clear my throat. Let me see how to pause this thing. I don't know what's going on. Or did it pause? Why did I still see myself there? I don't know. I don't know about videotaping, y'all. 5 years and I still don't know what you're going on, y'all. Well, you already know I don't know what's going on, because I think if I did, I would probably be a little bit farther along. And thank y'all for the questions that you asked. I answered them to the best to my knowledge. And let me see. I was supposed to be, and then I remember I'm supposed to be answering these questions up here on my next video. But I forgot. Oh, here we go. Come on, computer. Come on, Dale, with your, Dale. Now, where was my next video? Let's see. August. Okay. I asked anyone if they had any questions to ask me. Oh, boy. I messed around and got some music on there. Oh, boy, I don't get no strike. Maybe I can edit it and take that out. And so now I can't even read the replies that I made on my, the questions, because I had, I think, 2 questions or 3 questions, I forget, that someone had asked me. One had asked me, but I wanted to call their names, so I'm going to have to do that for the next video. I know one was Earth Angel, and I'm going to have to write it down on a piece of paper in the next video I get. I'll, go over it again, because I keep forgetting what I'm supposed to be doing over here sometimes, y'all. I ain't got to tell you how old I am. Now, this guy, he's at somebody's door. I'm not going to tell you about that, because you can watch that for yourself. And I think, I don't know if these things are far-fetched. Because who's going to stand at the door and claim they're looking for somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning? And then one lady had audacity talking about she wanted to use their phone. And she was looking for her friend. And another one asked for something. She needed a blanket. You know, I said, nah, wait a minute now. This is a bit much. Because when that ring doorbell, you start talking to that ring doorbell, most people will start to run away. They ain't gonna stand there and talk to you and have no conversation with you. They out of there because they know you're home, you know. Because I think most of their plans are to come there to take something or, you know, see something, whatever you got on your porch and stuff like that. Like I said, this guy, you know, he was always coming around. I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know, mood or whatever the situation is. But when I first got my Blink camera, that little camera sitting right over there, I have 2 of them. But I never, you know, since they did my floor, I never put them back in where they're supposed to be. This one has not been, it's still hooked up within the house. You know, I can see in the house what's going on. But that one in there, and the other one is in my bedroom. And so the bedroom goes out, looks out to the porch. And he was actually up there on my porch. And my little Blink camera, I think I told you about those cameras before. My little Blink camera, that light came on blue. He looked up and saw it. Did like that. I said to myself, too late, because I got you on camera. But there was nothing out there for him to steal, but he hurried up and got out of there. You know, that camera will make you change your mind quick about whatsoever you were going to do. You know? And then I saw one guy, like I said, y'all can watch it if you want. One guy actually opened somebody's door with a crowbar. I think it was a crowbar, you know, something like you use with your automobile or something like that. I'm saying, we got deadbolts over here. Can they open my door with a crowbar? But like they say, you know, if the person want to get in your house bad enough, they can. That's for sure. They can, you know, unless you got bars on your window and a big old bar across your door. Like my mother, my mother had a house break. I don't know if I told y'all, pull my chair up a little bit so I could talk better. My mother had a break-in. Someone came in her house in broad daylight while she was at work. And they came in through the back door. And the neighbors had dogs, and they were barking. They said them dogs were barking like crazy, even though they weren't her dogs. They were the neighbors' dogs. But the neighbors' dog knew that something fishy was going on next door, and so they were barking. They was carrying on, but it didn't stop those burglars. And they came in and they took her television. You know, she had like a floor model television, and they came in and took it. But what I could never understand, why would they come to the back door? I always thought it had to be somebody that knew her, you know. And then after that, because my mother did own her, she owned her own house. Like I said, she was a hard worker, so she owned her own home. And after that, she had a door put up there. The door had a steel steel thing on something up on the door. And then there was this big bar about this wide that she had on each side. And the bar was, it would fit right into, I don't know what you call these things, but it was like, okay, you put the bar, these are the things that the bar would sit on. So the bar would sit on there. It was wide enough to go from one end of the door to the next. She ain't had no problem with nobody breaking in anymore. No, sir, buddy. But that was an old house that she was in. But she never really had any problems since she had been living there. She'd been living there since almost as long as we had been up north. She had been living there, I think, about 40 years at the time. But, altogether, she lived there. That was her house up until, she went into the convalescent home for about 60 years. 60 or 62 years, something like that. Yeah. I'll tell you, this got me to thinking, oh my goodness. So I'm going to turn away from that. And I ain't watching no politics. I'm so sick of that showing up in my feed. And so I'm trying to watch other YouTubers so that that stuff will stop showing up in my feed. Because once you start watching it, it'll start showing up on your feed, and that, they keep giving it to you. And so I want them to stop it. If I want to watch it, I want to be able to watch it without them feeding my whole, filling my whole thing up with politics, Trump, Jasmine Crockett, Midas Touch. I mean, I like to watch. I love Midas. What's his name? Ben Marcellus? Marcellus? I like it. I like to watch them. And Keith, all those guys. I like to watch them. But I don't want them, just keep coming like that. Leave me alone sometime. You know what I mean? Let me watch some other people, without having to go hunt and the other person down. Yeah. There is one guy. Look at that. That right there would make me turn around and go home or either go somewhere else. I mean, I'm just not going to do it like that. These people got to have some kind of mental illnesses. I mean, the ones that they've got on there, they're from all over different places, different states and stuff like that. They're acting like they're a little cuckoo. You know what I mean? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, got to be. And they got women doing it too. I said, I didn't know women were doing it too. I mean, I know a woman will still. Oh, yeah. Because see a lot of that going on at Walmart, the Walmart thieves. And they be carrying on something terrible because they got caught stealing. I'd be embarrassed. I would. I'd be embarrassed to get caught stealing. Especially on camera and they put it on TV. Oh no, all around grandma, you ain't going down like that. I'm telling you right now, old man, grandma ain't going down like that. No. I will just simply go to the store, even if I don't buy anything, ain't got no money. If I want to look, I look, which I'm not good at that. Some people are good at window shopping or going shopping, looking around, even though they ain't got no money. I ain't that. I am not that one. I'm not that person. I gotta have some money. If I'm gonna hang around in that store, I gotta have dough in my pocket. You don't hear me dumb. I'm going to the store and look around just to see what's going on. I ain't no window shopping. I don't shop windows. But I get me some money and go shopping. And you ain't heard me doing a whole lot of shopping at Amazon this month either. Especially that phone. Oh my goodness, that new phone just threw me for a loop. Brother. This little phone line. But I did make a video on it. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. Took a long time for that, to upload, but it finally did upload. So I think I might be okay with videoing for a while. I'm on the old phone now. I don't know where my new phone is. Oh, here it is, right here. Yeah, I made a video on here yesterday. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to, as I make videos, I'm just going to clear them out. And then I got this little phone is now hooked up to Wi-Fi, and so is this one. This one here is also hooked up to Wi-Fi. I don't know where I'm looking at, y'all. But I hope y'all doing all right this evening. And I wish you could come over and have dinner with me. I'm lonely. I want a friend. I want to have dinner by myself again. And I can't go out and eat because I ain't got no money. That's another thing. If I ain't got no money, ain't no sense in hanging around the McDonald's. I ain't hanging around. You know I could go to McDonald's if I want to. I'm only kidding about that now. But I mean to go out to dinner, like your steakhouse or something like that. No. All my grandma can't afford that one. But I can go to Burger King. And I can even go down there to KFC and get me a chicken pot pie. But I already had chicken pot pies in my freezer. Matter of fact, that's what I had for lunch. Actually, it was a turkey pot pie. I had ordered when I went to the store. I got 3. So they've been up there in the freezer. I got 1 left. That's my second one I ate for lunch today. And I got 1 left. That's why, because I had all that pot pie for lunch, I called myself going to take it light for dinner. I'm just going to have a sandwich and some water. Call it a day. Go to La La Land. Take another nap. I ain't took no nap. Well, yes, I did. I went back to bed this morning, but I haven't been back to bed since. Yeah. Now this, oh my God. I'm just going to stop looking over there, y'all. I think I've been up here long enough anyway. Let's see. Looks like, where's your glasses at? I can't keep up with nothing. I guess y'all wonder what this is in the back of my chair. It's another yellow t-shirt, which actually I had this t-shirt on. And then, well, it's got a hole in it. This one has which I mean, I don't care, about the hole being in there. I would still come up here and wear it up here on YouTube. But I was washing my face and the shirt got wet. And I said, now I can't get it back out. It's dry now though. You get water, you're just splashing water on your face, trying to wake yourself, come back up so you can look a little better or something like that. And so I took that off and put this one on. Yeah, I don't know how many yellow shirts I got. I think about 2, 3. No, I got 3. I got 3 or 4. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Like I said, I collected a lot of t-shirts. Let me turn away from these people ringing these people doorbell. It's really, really curious, yeah. Oh, I thank y'all that for the ones that asked me the questions. I meant to say thank you for that. And I'm going to, like I said, when I get up here on the next, I'm trying to make the videos more often. And I'm going to repeat it, tell you, call you out by name and everything. And if you have a channel, let me know. Let's see, what can you put put like a green heart in the channel. Let me know you got a channel, and I'll shout you out. I mean, my channel is not all that great, but like they say on YouTube, every little bit helps. That's why I try to help the little small. I comment on the little small channels if I see them. I comment on anybody's channel. It depends if I'm here, if I'm at my computer. But if I'm in my bedroom, which is where I watch most of my videos while I'm in bed, because usually when I'm here and when I'm sitting up at the computer, I'm playing games. But if I can think of it while I'm sitting here, I will go to the channel. I've subscribed to certain channels, to quite a few channels, because they're small channels. And make a comment, thumb it up. I do myself. I do my part as far as trying to help them. Help them build up. They want to get a way, what you call it, enough to, I guess, to get monetized. I'm monetized, like I said a long time ago. I've been monetized for a long time. But I just don't make no money because, my stuff is not that great. But I already got my plaque. Yeah, I showed y'all the plaque before. I got that. but I want to make the dough. Now, ain't no way I'll be hanging around somebody's apartment like this, somebody's house. That's what makes me not believe that it's true. Because a normal person in the right state of mind is not going to do that. These people got to be nuts. They want to go to jail. Now, if it was snow was on the ground and it was nice and cold outside, like below freezing, maybe they might hang around because they want to go to jail. They want to do something that's not going to keep them in jail for a long time, just for the cold. Because they used to joke about my uncle. I had an uncle like that he would do something just enough so he could go to jail during the winter, when it was cold. That's crazy, y'all. And I said, I don't know how true that story is. But, may his soul rest in peace. His name was Uncle Levi. We used to call him Uncle Levi. And then a lot of people used to call him Horsefly. But they say that it was my mother's brother. That's how I know him. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot of people on my dad's side. The only people I know on my dad's side is his sister. He had a sister, Aunt Emily. And so, I know her and I know her children and stuff like that. But there was more brothers as well, but they got scattered. You know how people get scattered and they move away and, to a different city. Matter of fact, that's what I had two brothers to do that. My oldest brother and my next to the oldest brother, they both moved out of state. One moved to Ohio and the other one moved to Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, but they would come home ever so often, Yeah, but they said Uncle Levi would do just enough so that he could go to jail for a couple of months. Because it was too cold, too cold outside. He didn't want to be out there in the cold, okay? Free meal too, place to stay. He was good to go. He didn't have to worry about nothing but the winter. He was set. But I said, I don't know if I would believe that or not because ain't nothing like your freedom, y'all. So don't get no ideas that, you go to do something, go to jail so you won't have to pay no rent, buy no food. You don't have to buy no clothes. You straight. I don't even want to go for the night, let alone for years and months. That's got to be enough to drive you nuts, man. Because, nothing beats freedom. When you're free to go, you can walk out there. I can walk out that door right now if I want to. In the morning, I can make plans, which I don't try to make a whole bunch of plans. But if I wanted to go somewhere, I could say, I'm going to Walmart today. Or I'm going to Stop and Shop. I do it all the time. But what if that freedom is taken away? Seems like somebody trying to take us back. I ain't gonna say nothing else about that though, y'all, because I don't want to mess around and talk it into existence. So, I don't really talk politics anyway, so I'm just gonna be quiet on that part. And on that note, I go with love, and I'll see you again on tomorrow, hopefully, so I can. Don't forget to put that heart in the comments so that I can call you out. I'll shout you right on out there. Be glad to. Give me something to talk about. See y'all again tomorrow. Sleep well, okay? Oh, sugar.